Danny and I married in 2013. And before that, he owned his own business. He built houses, but he built specialty houses. He was I guess you would say, a specialized carpenter because he did all kinds of fancy woodwork and different things that people did not usually do. And his wife had passed away 2 years before from cancer. And when we met, I was, on the other hand, I guess you would say, let's see, how would you say that? I stayed at home with my children. I raised 5 children, and we always had gardens. We had gardens when I was little. We had gardens when my kids were coming up, but I'd always wanted more. I'd always wanted a place where I could have all the fruit trees and all the gardening and just enjoy nature and nature walks and all this kind of stuff. And until I met Danny, I did not have that. And he had this place. It's a 10-acre farm here in South Mississippi. And he had not really gardened in 2 years when I met him, and he had gotten rid of all his animals. He had a farm before, and he said, I really want to start gardening again. And so in 2013, all his fruit trees and everything were bearing, and I was in hog heaven. I'm going to tell you, there was all kinds of fruit. You could walk through the yard and eat something fresh almost every day. And so I started canning.
That's
and
great.
I canned before, so it wasn't anything new. And so we've made all kinds of jams, jellies, and preserves, and anything imaginable out of peaches and apples and figs. And let's see, what all did we have? I can't even remember at the time. All kinds of berries. We had blueberries and blackberries and strawberries and huckleberries and dewberries. And I mean, you could just walk through. It was either wild in the woods or he had it on this 10 acre. So we just started from there. That year, he wanted to add back the chickens. He said that's the first thing he wanted to do. So we added chickens. From there, we decided, let's keep a garden going every year. And his health went down a couple of years later, and he could not eat a whole lot of everything. He had a lot of things went on. So we had to start taking things out of our diet. We still bought things in the grocery store, but we had most of all our vegetables and fruits that we raised. We were still buying meat in the store. We were still buying other things. So he had surgery about 2 years, 3 years into our marriage. And when he had surgery, his gallbladder, he still didn't get over it. He had a lot of issues. He went gluten-free. From there, we just cut out almost everything. He is almost now 90% on our food. What he eats is raised here at Deep South, whether it's the veggies, the fruits, the nuts, the meat. We raise almost everything he eats. There's few things like salt and sugar and, the average things that you can't raise here. I'm about 80 to 85%. I'm still a little bit of a junkaholic, and I have to have a few things on the side, my coffee and things like that. But overall, we try to live very simply. We try not to stay stressed out about things. We watch what's going on in the world, but we try to stay out of the world, and we try to keep ourselves, away from that. And we love nature. Part of our channel is simply watching nature, and things like that.